Look like this without a reason. Season. Mountainside. Flowers in the desert. Mountainside. Stay with me. Smile from mountainside. Did you ever wonder what? The breeze of sea, the sun in winter, the big country trees. Trees stay with you.
Five skaters, four skaters.
You're listening to Rink Rash Radio on 247miami.tv.
Welcome back to Rink Rash Radio. We're in the studio with Riley, now known as Jaws, Anger here, and we do have Apocalypse coming into the studio in just a few moments.
Yay, Junior Derby girl!
If you're just tuning in, we were talking about some force bonding earlier. I can't get over it. I'm sorry. I did.
Never dying.
I got a message though just now from Boogeyman, and he was commenting on the fact that I love Central, but I'm not a big fan of their court. And so he just mentioned that, if he thinks that was bad, there was another court that they had that was way worse. So shout out to Boogeyman. Thanks for tuning into Rink Rash Radio. I are here with Riley. I mean Jaws. I'm gonna have to get used to that.
Riley person?
Who is this Riley person? And she's here.
Apocalypse.
Welcome, Apocalypse. Just walking in. Let's get her all
We got so lost.
seated and mic'd and headphoned in, all that good stuff. So we were talking about the whole Derby name thing, right? How, and actually now that I just made you. We're settling in, folks. We're settling in. So we were talking about actually Derby names, and you just got your Derby name, Riley.
I did. It's
Jaws.
hard to find Derby names.
Well, not only that, but it's so hard, like when you become when you actually get your Derby name, for people to start actually calling you by your Derby name. I was a fresh meat skater for almost a year. So, my name is Jessica, and then all of a sudden it's Shakespeare, and it's like, wait a minute. Wait, what? What are we calling you?
So confusing. People will sometimes refer to you as Jessica, and I'm like, I have no idea who you're talking about. I have no idea this person that you speak of.
I don't know who this is.
Yeah, exactly.
Be more specific.
And actually, you had talked about how both me and Tally were messaging you on Facebook
at the same time.
Like,
So
Jessica.
on Facebook, it was Jessica, and then both of your profile pictures are you guys at about. And I was so lost, and I didn't know who was who.
Because two Jessicas don't make a right.
I know. It was just confusing. I know you as Tally and Shakes, and that is it.
And actually, it's kind of interesting now that we'll be going away. I recall a story. One of our former skaters, Jugs, talking about how she went to one of the hotels, and they're like, "Well, what name is it under?"
They're like, well, because they put the hotels under certain people's real names. So they're like, Facebook. Naughty. Okay, this person. Is it under? No. Okay, hang on. Real name. This person? No. Okay, hold on. It was 15 minutes on Facebook trying to find all the names of the
people's real names.
Hashtag Derby problems.
Because you might know their first name, but then it's like Jessica.
Which one is it?
It's so hard.
Jessica Fear.
So there's that, there's that. It is a Derby girl problem. Absolutely a Derby girl problem. And Riley, you're Jaws. Yes, exactly. You've been talking about how your fresh meat experience, you guys are now going.
We're going through our assessments now, which is super exciting. I think all of us are really, really pumped about it. They're trying to get some of us to be bout ready by the Key West game in May. We actually just did the first page of our packet, our minimum skills.
So walk me through the process of becoming
a Derby girl.
Yes.
It takes a lot of work. You do most of the time as a fresh meat skater, you're learning the skills, and then packet work, actually doing it, is only a few practices, because hopefully you have all the skills down before then. Last week we did all our skills, and you have to have falls and your stops, and basically the point of fresh meat is making sure that you are safe on the track so you don't get hurt, and you are safe so you don't hurt other skaters. Precisely. So it's making sure that you not necessarily are about ready to be at strong game level, but just so that you're safe on the on the rink, safe on the track, you don't get hurt, no one else gets hurt. So we're starting that. It was actually pretty cool because I know Anger here actually skated assessments with us, which was really nice, having a vet skater actually do the assessments with you. Mm-hmm. It's kind of nice because it shows that it's important to them too, and they can help you a lot, because I know I'm very visual. So when I was doing my assessments, I looked a lot to Anger here to see how I was making sure I was doing things right, and just getting in my head correctly. But
no, and you get stuff down really fast. I think I showed you the eagle move, and you got it just seeing it once. You're like, oh, got it, there you go. I was like, whoa.
Her crab skating's crazy too.
Yeah. She was showing me how to crab skate. I was like, whoa, I'm learning something today. No, but that's really cool. And the way they break it down I think is nice, is that you have skills 1, skill 2,
skills 3.
Right. So you got to go through skill 1 before you can get to 2 and 3.
They make sure they don't overwhelm you with it, which is really nice. So we just did all of pushing and making sure you can do the simple stuff. And our next skills part, our next skills page is actually the dreaded 27 and 5.
Dreaded.
So I think a lot of us are pretty nervous about it, but I think we'll all do fine.
And that's 27 laps in 5 minutes. And it took me, I think, 3 tries at least to actually get the 27 and
we
5.
all tried it last week, and about half of us made it, and then about half of us missed it by about 30-40 seconds. So
And-
I was one of those. So I got some work to do.
You're almost there. That's really close, actually.
Yeah,
That's really, really
so.
close. And I think it was the last 27.5 that we actually had someone on the last lap, kind of.
Oh, we had a fresh meet go down.
We had a fresh meet go down.
Shout
out.
to Treble Threat.
Yes. Heal
Who's
quickly. Come back
recovering
soon.
Nicely. We love you. Broken ankles don't stop nobody.
Nope.
We got this.
Right. And actually, you talking about how you came back after an injury too.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it's not a
like,
problem. Like,
You got to have the mentality like fall down 7 times, stand up 8. Like you got to
Yes.
make sure that you keep trying. I mean, like you can't live in fear. Like I learned like the hard way that like pain happens, but I mean, you can either get like have pain and get stronger from it or suffer from it. It's a choice. Like how you come out of it is a complete choice. And I chose to come out of it on top and be okay with it. It made me a lot stronger. I would not be the skater I am today without that injury. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be at Miami without that injury. I wouldn't have met all the people I met. So a lot of great things came out of that injury.
and that's also like life too, like even your moments where you feel like you're at your lowest, they're the ones where you
Yeah.
experience the most growth.
There were some
and
hard times,
change.
but I mean, it definitely made me grow a lot in that time. So it was nice.
Very cool. Well, we're looking forward to you passing your fresh meet assessments
So it's gonna
as
happen.
quickly as possible, so we can
quickly as
get you.
possible.
We can get you back from when you're back from Africa doing these great white cool things.
Yeah.
Great white shark internship in Africa. That's amazing. And so you'll be back in June, and so you'll hopefully be ready for the August game.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Fingers crossed.
It's gonna happen.
What-
Please.
and Apocalypse, you're joining us now. And what do you think about fresh meet experience on the junior side?
My fresh meet experience was very different because we had like 5 people on the junior team, so they kind of just were like, "Good luck, guys. Have fun." But now they've definitely stepped up the game, and they'll usually have Killer B running like level 2 and 3 practice,
Mhm.
and then Edley running fresh meet, which I think works really well because Edley's really good at like skills. He's very fast and very good at like
The basics.
yeah, very good at basics. But yeah, I think we've definitely done really well.
Are you going to be hitting your sibling soon?
Hopefully.
We got Gravity.
Yeah.
He was jamming.
Yeah.
He's like a hoppity and agile and
For
just
real.
he's gonna be phenomenal. And you can tell the beater is just like he's just a
Mhm.
really solid skater,
Yeah.
and he's fast too.
He is fast.
He's really, really fast. I'm very impressed. And BC,
Yes.
is that what we're calling her? Beastie?
Yeah.
She's so sweet.
She's just
She's so sweet.
yeah. She's very enthusiastic.
Yeah, and that brings a lot of positivity to
Yeah,
the track too. So
definitely.
that's amazing. I can't wait to see you guys like actually playing a game together.
Yes.
That would be really fun.
Mhm.
That would be fun. So we were talking a little bit earlier about derby crushes off the studio, and
Yeah.
Jaws.
Ladies, take it easy now. Ladies. Stop.
Derby crushes, George. Derby
Derby
crushes.
crushes.
Oh, sorry.
And you had to, Jaws, you were talking about Fifi.
Fifi Nominon.
Nominon.
She skates for the Texas Roller Girls now, the Texecutioners. And as of 2014, 2015 Team USA, I'm in love with her. I love her. She's
Why?
an amazing
Why are
skater.
you in love with Fifi Nomina?
She is a blocker and jammer, which is like at that level, people usually pick like a specialty, but everybody can usually do it. But like the thing about her is she's amazing at both. Like she kills it. She's got great footwork. She's got great blocking skill. And it's so funny because like she will trip and fall. And as she's falling, see a jammer coming and be able to like catch it so quick and like recover so quickly and still be able to take that jammer out like single-handedly. Like
And
she's
you
amazing.
and you were talking about how she's a member skater
she
for
skates for the Vigine regime. Actually, Fifi is transgender, which you would not know. Like it's like she's awesome, just this powerful, strong woman, and she's one of like the big skaters for Vigine regime. So it's pretty cool. Like you can catch a Vigine regime bout at RollerCon this summer.
yes.
So that'll be awesome. And I think Australia just created a Vigine regime team. So, but no, yeah, I love. If I could be Fifi Nominon, I'd be completely happy. Like if I could skate like her, my world would be complete.
Shout out to Phoebe Nomina from Team USA. We did want to give a quick shout out to the states of skating movements. We're talking about skating movements earlier too. States on Skates. They're the group of applause. They are now in Texas, and they were a group of skating women who are raising awareness to stop domestic violence and sexual assault. And they're on a 78-day, 8-state 2,823-mile journey across the United States to bring awareness to the Joyful Heart Foundation. So shout out to them who are now, they're in the 5th state in Texas. They got 3 more to go. Tune in. We also are talking about Chicks and Bowls, which we have a meetup tomorrow. Tally, one of our skaters, is heading that up.
And Valkyrie.
And so hashtag Chicks and Bowls Miami. They'll be tomorrow, Sunday at 2 p.m. at Westwind Lake Skate Park. And after that, they'll be going to the North Trails Skate Park. So it's a meetup where you got chicks on skates, in bowls, all that good stuff. And stay tuned for Dollface Crusher from Central Florida Derby Demons, followed by Boogeyman, who is a ref for Central. And stay tuned for more Rink Rash Radio.
Where the fresh meat gets rotten.
You're listening to Rink Rash Radio on 247miami.tv.
Welcome back to Rink Rash Radio. We're in the studio with Apocalypse. We've also got Riley, who is tweeting live during the show. Jaws, not Riley.
It's
Jaws.
okay.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen eventually. Of course, Anger here.
Anger.
Say words, Anger.
No audio for anyone.
And calling in, we've got the Dollface Crusher from Central Florida Derby Demons, who is streaming our show in her salon, the Dollface Hair Refinery. Yay! Say hi.
Hey guys,
Hey, you're on. And
can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you. We do hear some. I guess it's blow dryers in the background.
Well,
Okay.
is it loud?
No, it's not that bad. It's a salon. We get it.
So, Dollface, you play as a blocker for Central Florida Derby Demons, who are out of Ormond Beach, Florida.
Yeah,
And
I do.
you're a mother of 2 boys.
I am.
So we love our Derby moms because we have several Derby moms on our team, and we don't know how you guys do it because I mean Derby
Some
work.
days I don't either.
Magic.
And something interesting that you shared with me is you ride a Harley and you collect coffee mugs. How did those 2 things come about?
I do love my Harley, and coffee mugs are cool. I mean, like I like travel coffee mugs, the kind that you take with you when you go. Yeah, I'm a dork. I don't know.
Coffee is important.
I was gonna say, well, anything having to do with coffee is collectible in my book. So
Exactly. Me too.
But
Absolutely.
we do have a ritual here at Rink Rash Radio. Right before the show, we all go to Starbucks and we get our coffees, our appropriate coffees.
that's only because I wouldn't be able to function if we didn't.
Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah, so we totally get the coffee mug thing. But you also shared with me. So where do you get your Derby name from? Because I'm really excited to hear about that.
When I was little, my grandmother thought that I looked like a doll. You know, I had like this porcelain skin and white hair and big blue eyes, and she always used to say I have a little doll face. So
and you added
she
the
used to call me
crusher.
that. Yeah, I added crusher for derby purposes because doll face is just not that tough.
Which is very appropriate. So we got to add the crusher in there for a little Derby action. You know.
Yeah.
But I just love saying Dollface. I think that's just, it's just really cool to say Dollface. Dollface, Dollface, Dollface.
But then you go out there and you're like, oh, Dollface, that's so sweet. And then you get your butt kicked and it's like, oh, maybe not. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why I had to throw that crusher in there.
And you've been skating
I don't
now.
want anyone to think it's going to be easy.
You've been skating now for 2 seasons with Central.
Yeah, this is my 2nd season. Yep.
So tell me, like, how'd you get into Derby?
Well, 2 of my friends played for Central, and they used to beg me to come out and, try it out, and I just refused because it seemed absurd to do something that could get hurt doing. I was a kid that never even climbed a tree. That's how afraid of getting hurt I was. Never had stitches, never had a broken bone, none of that. And I went out and I watched them play, and I absolutely fell in love. And then I went to the after party and I was even more in love because all these girls that were just, hitting each other on skates were now drinking beers and laughing together. So it was a really cool kind of environment that, I think that I needed at the time. A good, solid group of sisters. That's how I ended up stuck and in love.
Stuck and in love with Derby.
Hashtag forced bonding.
Hashtag what?
Forced bonding.
Forced bond. Okay. I don't know if you caught that earlier. There was a hashtag forced bonding floating around. Basically, we're talking about how we go away for the second part of our season, and how Anger was talking about how
I meant it more as like mandatory bonding because you're in a car and
You're
hotels, and it's like there's no escaping the Derby bonding.
there's no escaping.
Like you're there with them, and that's it.
What?
And now I look forward to like the road trips and the away games and the hotel stays and just the I would say girl time, but it's not manis and petties. It's a different kind of girl.
A different kind of girl time. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean by different kind of girl
It's not
time?
like the
It's not
pillow fights
standard.
or makeovers at night.
Gotcha.
It's going
it's
to
not.
drop somebody.
It's not like there's no gossip. There's just none of that. It's just fun, and we talk about our kids and our lives and our jobs, and it's not. You don't feel pressure to like be part of something because they're your sisters. You know.
Yeah. And you had been talking. Actually, we talked on the phone about how you were empowered by Derby, with your
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. oh man, so many things have come out of Derby. I left a job that I hated.
Go on.
I did. I left a salon that I I actually owned part of, and I left. It just wasn't a good situation. So it kind of made me think, if, like I said yesterday, if I can get through fresh meat, I can do anything. So I up and left and started my own.
Yeah.
There was the whole coming out of the closet thing.
That thing, right? You know, it's a minor detail, which, you know, of course, that must have been huge for you at the time, you know, to come out publicly as.
Yeah, it was. I have a pretty rad family who, you know, supports me no matter what, but career-wise and things like that, that was a big move for me.
And you said that Derby had helped you come out because, you know, you knew that you could be whoever you wanted.
Yeah, I absolutely could. You know, on the track, like, I was like, all right, well, I get to skate and be Dollface Crusher. But there's no reason that when I get off the track, I can't be exactly who I am either.
Right.
You know? So that was definitely, that gave me a lot of strength to do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're in this group of super accepting people who are, you know, whatever you want to do.
Be you. Just be you and then crush it on the track. And
that's right. That's all that matters.
Now, when you joined, you had talked about how you didn't even know how to skate.
No, I didn't. I did not know how to skate.
But you had played some sports, right? So you kind of had.
I did.
Tell us about your experience.
Softball. Well, I literally put skates on and was like, I didn't know how to do it. And all of a sudden I had wheels on my feet and
learn to do the thing.
It was terrifying. I was the one holding on to stuff, trying to stand up. But I had a great teacher. You know, I was fortunate that one of our really good players had an injury, so she was off skates and really got to work with me, and who's now my Derby wife. We started, you know, the same day, and we got a lot of attention in our fresh meat process from her.
That's awesome.
We learned pretty quick. We passed our skills test, I think the first time we took it. So
you were well prepared. You had been training hard and you were well prepared to pass your, you know. Well, I guess my point is for people out there who want to join, you know, you don't have to come in knowing how to skate. You know, there will be trainers there that will help you.
Everybody started from the bottom.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here. that's just how we do.
I got to stop you there. There will be no further Drake references on this show.
It's embedded.
Executive producer's privilege. Sorry.
So we can do force bonding, just not Drake.
Anytime you want to.
Moving on with the junior in the studio here. We also had talked about because I know we've got a little bit of time left before we got to let you go, but we are going to have Boogeyman on in the next segment, and there was something that you and I had talked about, and I did want to talk about it, and that's men's derby. And you guys have a differing opinion on this, so I'm very interested in kind of exploring that. So what's your stance on men's derby?
Well, I think that my opinion differs from a lot of people's, but I think that a lot of women in roller derby get very concerned that the men are coming in and trying to, you know, take control of the sport, and I don't see that as even a threat. I think that most of the men that play come in well aware of the fact that this is a female-dominated sport, and they just play the way that they play. And I've seen the men play with just men, and I think that they play very differently than they do when the women get out there with them and the co-ed. So I think that there's always an opportunity to learn, but I don't foresee ever men like taking over the world of roller derby, you know, but everybody has their place in the sport, and I think that it's great that men want to get involved, but I think that's why we see so many men as referees and things like that. They want to get involved, but they don't want to take it away. And right. I think that some women feel that that's what they're trying to do. I think that's crazy.
Right. But, you know, you had also talked about how, like, you know, the men actually have to change their game. They're not as aggressive because they're playing with women when you have co-ed derby, which is interesting. You know, I think that's and we're going to talk more about Boogeyman, who is part of Team Zebra, which is a co-ed referee team, and we're going to share with that perspective with him. But thanks for joining us. We did want to give a shout out to, you know, the Dollface Hair Refinery, and it's in Ormond Beach. Where can they find you? Where can they find your salon for people who want to see your place?
We are at 50 East Granada in Ormond Beach. It's beachside. We're just a few blocks from the ocean. And we're here Monday through Saturday. Morning and noon.
All right. And what's your phone number where they can reach you?
Area code 386-843-3655.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Dollface. We can't wait to see you on April 18th for the last home bout of the season. And guys, stay tuned for...
I'm super stoked.
You spend a weekend in Miami. What's wrong with that, right? Next up we have Boogeyman, who's a skater and a ref. And thanks so much again, Dollface. Stay tuned for Rink Rash Radio, guys.
Back to the show before the fresh meat gets rotten.
You're listening to Rink Rash Radio on 247miami.tv.
Welcome back to Rink Rash Radio. It's the last segment of our show today. On the line is Boogeyman. Say hello, Boogeyman. All right. We'll be back to him in a second. In the studio, we've got Apocalypse and Jaws. I almost went with the Riley again. And Anger, you wanted to give a shout out to someone today.
Yeah, South Florida Roller Girls have a bout today in Fort Pierce against the Jailbreak Betties.
Who are from
Tallahassee. So good luck to them. We just played them, so excited for their...
Yeah, and we'll be playing them again
in
the Keys on May 2nd.
There we go.
Doubleheader. And it's the South Florida Roller Girls are bringing in their A team and their B team at Key West. So we're going to the Keys on May 2nd. And then we're going to have another doubleheader with them and the Keys at Fort Pierce on October 3rd. So lots of doubleheaders with the South Florida Roller Girls. We've been playing a lot of doubleheaders this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had like 2 back-to-back basically, and the juniors played. Yeah. And this is actually, I think, one of the first games where we April 18th where we don't have a doubleheader, which is just going to be the women's Miami's Vice City Rollers team. So that's going to be interesting. And I do want to check in with Boogeyman again. Boogie, are you there? No? Okay. He's on the line, so I don't know what's going on. We'll keep it going. Well, that's what happens, folks.
Technical difficulties. Apparently, the hamster's gotten tired. I didn't feed him last night, so he's slowing down the wheel I'm going to get him some sugar water right away.
Well, we were going to talk about the juniors. Boogeyman actually does have a 9-year-old daughter who plays derby with him. And he is a derby dad. And we were talking about how the juniors are taking over. Apocalypse. I mean, you guys are the future of roller derby, you know? Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're just
You're
going
right.
to, you know.
No questioning
Yeah.
that, just of course.
I mean, you started, how old were you when you started?
I think I was 12 because I've been playing for 2 years.
And you're now 14 years old.
Yeah.
And by the time you're 18 years old,
Yeah. Then I'll be graduating
you would have been
Vice City.
playing for,
like 9 years.
yeah. That's,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Well then.
And we'll be
Okay.
cheering for you the entire way because we're going to be so excited for you guys. Do you have any skaters that you look up to?
I think that from the very beginning, I've been looking up to Tally because Tally can do anything. Like you will see her like ramming into people and making them fly at bouts.
Pretty much. There's lots of video clips of that.
Yes. It's very entertaining.
She always has this, you know, what?
Yeah.
What? Do what?
What's your problem?
What's your problem? Kind of look like that's what we're here for.
Definitely.
You came here for me to hit
Calm
you. I did it. And now you give me this look?
Okay.
And then she skates away.
It's derby.
Yeah, exactly. V inspires me a lot.
Oh, tell me about that because she's actually your coach, right?
Yeah. V has just gone through a lot of injuries and then continues to come back. And she has a lot going on outside of derby and yet still puts so much. She really gives her all in every possible way.
True
And
facts.
It's kind of amazing. Yeah. And like obviously you inspire me because
Wait,
There it
wait,
is.
what?
There it is.
Because I'm on your radio show and I have to say that.
no, but honestly, you're
Those
like
headphones.
amazing.
Thank
Like-
you. And I've got a poster now, so like it proves
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Okay.
I'm teasing. No, I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Actually, you're and your family are like some of my biggest fans, and Jaws is crying here and
Oh,
laughing.
yeah, I
Yeah.
still am of the strong persuasion that I should just join your family.
Well,
We all want to join the Walker family.
I want to be an honorary walker.
Honorary? Can we make her an honorary Walker?
I think we can.
I think we can. I think we can.
As long as you're paying for yourself, I don't think Grant or Tina would have a problem with it. Although they are the nicest people.
Yes.
You know, some of the nicest parents that I know.
You've got some of the coolest parents that I know.
That's definitely true.
No, but you guys are out there and you're cheering and you're cheering us on, and that like you come up after and you give me hugs. Like I love that.
Yeah, seriously, like when I go around and I hear you guys going, like it's just walkers from the sidelines. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, keep
Yeah.
speaking. Honorary family.
Now Boogeyman just called. Boogeyman, are you on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told you that sugar water would work.
Not that we didn't mind talking about the juniors and the fans and all that, but we're glad to have you on because we were talking about the juniors, and when we talked on the phone yesterday, you had talked about you have a 9-year-old daughter in derby.
Yes.
Yes.
Little,
That is correct.
Little Violent Violet. She's been doing it for about 2 years now.
How many years?
2 years.
2 years. She's been skating for 2 years, and you mentioned something interesting to me that she helps out the fresh meat to learn their skills.
Oh yeah, with the adult girls, and they come in. She's always there at practice with me, and she'll help out. Their basic skills, teach them how to skate backwards, do transitions, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
That's
so
pretty
cool.
amazing. We've all been blown away about that because she's 9 and skating backwards
Yeah,
and doing transitions and showing other people who are adult skaters how to do that.
Yes, and all the other adult skaters absolutely adore her when she helps them out because it's not as intimidating as me or someone else kind of showing people how to do stuff. Because when I do stuff, I kind of overdo it because it's just natural for me. But she's new to the learning curve, so it's fresh in her mind of how she learned how to do stuff.
Right.
So it translates really well.
And of course, I'm sure she's adorable. So everybody's like, I'll do whatever you say.
Can't say no.
But that brings up an interesting thing, and that is daddies and their little girls in derby, which, we have a daddy in the studio with a little girl in derby.
I do. And we have one on the phone. How convenient.
Exactly. It just works out perfectly. Was that planned?
Did you plan it?
I think so.
Then there you have it.
But Boogie, we had talked about how like incredible that experience is, to be able to have something to share with your daughter that way.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I take her with me where I referee, which has been, pretty much all over the state of Florida, Georgia, stuff like that. And she comes along with me. She's my cheering section. When we have Team Zebra bouts, she actually has a full like zebra onesie outfit thing that she wears.
Wait, what? A zebra onesie? That is so cute.
Yeah, with beaties and everything, and a little hoodie that comes over the head. And she's our official team mascot. She's Dazzle, the zebra.
She dresses up as a zebra for Team Zebra.
But she's our mascot for Team Zebra.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought Team Zebra up because Anger here has some questions for you.
Okay.
I just want to know, because, I mean, obviously, if you're on Team Zebra, you're reffing too. What is it like
Correct.
considering, you have to spend so much time putting that effort into reffing that you don't get to play as much and then jumping into games as Team Zebra? Like, how's that experience?
It's kind of the whole novelty of Team Zebra is we're just a group of referees. We don't ever get to practice together. We just show up a few times a year, get to hang out a little bit, and we play derby, and most of the skaters on Team Zebra are fairly comfortable with doing it. So, I mean, we don't put a lot of effort into playing. I mean, with the Central Florida team, I help out with their practices and do a little scrimmaging with them. But other than that, there's no men's teams or co-ed teams around where I'm at. So we're kind of limited. And that's kind of why we came up with the Team Zebra concept, was to, as referees, we want to get in there and play. I mean, it looks fun. It is fun,
Exactly.
That's why we all do it, But
and that's interesting because we talked to Dollface, and she was mentioning that you have a very different position on men's derby, in terms of like men playing the women.
Well, I mean, men and women play completely differently. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of straight men's derby. For me to play in, it's kind of like two rams on a hillside just bashing their heads in continuously, and you get a bunch
bashing
of guys
rams.
together.
Best analogy ever.
Bashing rams. Got
So
it.
I mean, I love the co-ed because it adds it's smash and finesse all in the same thing.
Oh.
You get the power in the guys, but we do. Like me, I'm more of a positional player anyway.
Right.
I've learned that big hits don't win games.
Yay.
And if I can literally sit on a jammer's lap and keep them moving behind me and wear them out, it's going to be much better than any big one hit I could lay on them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's definitely where the strategy of the game is going to. And I know Dollface had mentioned how men and women do play differently, and that's kind of what you're talking about, how like men tend to be more like just hit really hard, versus women tend to be a little more strategic with the positionally blocking. But that's really cool to hear that you incorporate that within your gameplay as well. So where can people actually? Okay, so Team Zebra is a group of refs, co-ed, that come out and play together, and there's no league per se. It's just you guys, whenever you schedule games, you can, right? And when
well, I mean, pretty much we post it up, and teams have been coming to us to want to play against us, and we've done every type of different zebra charity you can actually think of. I mean, everything from gay and lesbian zebras to actual zebras at a zoo. So.
So we will the people, we got to work on you guys come down to Miami, of course, Team Zebra, and that would be a really fun game for us. Thank you so much for joining us, Boogeyman. I'm sorry we couldn't get you in earlier. Shout out to Team Zebra for sure. If you're a ref, go out, and I encourage skaters to actually ref. I'm actually very intrigued about doing it myself, so we'll see how that goes. Thanks for joining us today. What's that?
We have about May 16th coming up in South Florida against the Gold Coast.
Your Team Zebra is playing on May 16th?
Yep, against Gold Coast.
Okay. All right.
Down by you guys.
All right. Awesome. Right. Thanks so much for joining us, Boogeyman. That is the end of the show for today. We'll be back next week with more Rink Rash Radio.